Well, hello, YouTubes. Welcome back, campaigners. This is Campaign Train. I am your host, Cross. I am got 3 or 4 things I got to do real quick, but I promise it'll be quick, and then we'll get settled in for the evening. First, hair's got to go up. Can't lean forward with my hair like that because it'll get my eyes. So hair, fold up. Should have done that before the thing. Oh, necklace, hat. Okay, it's going to get a little loud. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to clip this to my glasses. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's get going. Again, this is Campaign Train. I'm your host, That Guy Cross. This is my basement. And I am going to be talking this week about repairing some piers that I made for a challenge a while back. Some of those pictures will be available a week from now on Carl Make Stuff's channel. So you want to make sure to go catch his live stream a week from today, earlier in the day than this, and you'll be able to see those. It's the piers that are in my picture with my little boats. So you see what I'm talking about repairing those again. Now, first things first, somebody this week asked about seeing the bridge I made last week and the last like 4 weeks, and showing it as it's finished, just to show that it really does look like a normal bridge and all that. So this is the bridge that I made. This is the one that comes apart, comes into like 4 pieces. I'm not going to do all that because it's no point. That's the front of it, and that's the top of it. And now I'll show you a better picture here. Let me slide that around and switch cameras for you here. Okay, stop moving. There we go. Okay, so that's the front. You can kind of tell it's there, but after I touched up that paint with some gray paint, looks like I got one more little spot I got to do there. But after I touched it up, you can't really see that it's there. You certainly would know if it was just sitting on the table. And here's the top. Now looking straight down at it, you can see these gaps down here. You can see me blocking some of that light. But otherwise, it looks like any of my other bridges. And you could play with it like this or knock it down. So that's done and ready. So that's the front, and that's the top, and it's completed, but upright position. So that was because somebody asked about that. After the piers, if I have time, depending on how long the pier repair concept goes, I may go back to some pieces I made a few weeks ago, several weeks ago, where I made both these 3x3 tiles and these dungeon stacker pieces. I have not done anything with those since they were on there, so I may spray these, but that's really simple. It's literally either a stain, like a wood stain, or acrylic paint watered down in a spritzer, and then just spray all of the sides of this. So I may get to that this evening or not. But for now, let us sit those out of the way here. And we are going to take those and put them close, but out the way. Somebody was talking about my lights last week, said that I didn't have them bright enough where you could see me. So I've added one more, but I've turned it way down. So the ambient light hopefully won't wash me out, but you should be able to see everything better now. I've got 5 of my smaller lights on, not my big bright ones. So, but all of those are turned way down except for that one that you're looking at me through. That one is a little brighter because it's farther away and needs to. Oh, anyway, so let's switch over here. Oh, no. First, let's switch to, yeah, let's do that because then I get a blank screen. So I'm going to switch to this camera, but are you trying to move things? Stop moving. I'm going to turn this back on. This is my Patreon patrons. Again, I've got 3 so far. You could be one. But for right now, I've got Dungeon Matron, that's Lisa. And I've got Patrick Walther, who is a longtime supporter as well. And I've got Digital Calibrator. Now, Dungeon Matron has their own Discord. That's their only online presence, but it's a lively Discord. Lots of people go there and hang out and that sort of thing. I've actually had 2 different hangouts there this week, plus one over on Nat One Videos. He's going to try to get back into being on Discord more often. So Nat One Videos does have a channel, and that guy sent a Space Marine into space, actual into space with a balloon. So you know, I might want to go check out Nat One Videos. So that's Lisa and Michael, who's not on there, but Lisa is Dungeon Matron. And she's got her own thing. Patrick Walther's a longtime supporter of the channel. really appreciate the ongoing support there. And DC is one who I know in real life, and they come over and help me with stuff. The fact that you can hear me right now is due greatly to Dungeon Matron and Digital Calibrator. They have both helped me in different ways. So now that I have that out of the way, let's turn that off. And then I will switch. No, I'm going to stay right here. And, oh no, I'm knocking stuff over. Ah. Okay, for the ongoing plumbing stuff that I've been having issues with, the plumbers have gone. They're gone 2 or 3 weeks now. But I'm still getting settled in. But I had a big stack of stuff here that I've put up now that I can put it where the plumbers needed to be. I've got a big stack of stuff there that I've diminished. Some of those are works in progress, but most of that's gone as well. So overall, this should be working out. I should be getting a little bit more flat space, so some of these smaller things that are along this front edge should hopefully find homes that are not right behind my head, but they're not in the way here, so they may stay there. I don't know. The one thing I still can't find is my super strong magnets. I have no idea. I've got weak magnets. I've got not so weak magnets, but my super strong ones. So now you know everything there is to know about my workspace right now. You may be getting buffering. I don't have any idea because Wi-Fi in a basement. So I don't know if you can still hear me. Looks like I just got a third viewer. I hope you can hear me. Jacob Hope. Okay, let's look at that. Jacob Hope. I don't know who you are. I haven't seen your name before. So yeah, and thank you for coming. Yeah, it's great. So it looks like a normal regular bridge, but then it in the midst of play, if you need to create a danger for your characters or they need to blow it up so that they can stop something else from chasing them or whichever, this whole thing will break down and no longer be passable. So yeah, it's not my idea. I saw somebody do it with a magnetic bridge where it stuck on this side and stuck on this side and had more magnets in the middle so they could just go whack and knock theirs apart. But their bridge is different than mine. So I was like, I bet I can make that happen. So that's what that's from. Okay. Looks like my signal has hopefully cleared up, so maybe you can actually see me and hear me. All right, so my piers that I have, this is what I've got so far. And these are supposed to, again, this city is supposed to be a well-used city that people live in, but it's not ruins or breaking down or anything like that by any means. So all these need to look new-ish, but not brand new. So that this whole city is built towards that. So my piers work like this, and I can stick multiple pieces together. I can, if I do it just, how did I do that last time? Okay, I stick this a little bit out and this one a little bit out. And I could even do things like add bigger platforms between them. So that is my modular pier section. I built this from memory of, let's see how we can make this work. What the problem is, I then went and looked at how piers actually work. And instead of like just being driven into the ground, I am not showing you the right camera. Let me do all of that over again. I feel like a doofus. Okay, here's how they work. They're very modular. I can just plunk these pieces down, stick a piece on top. If I do it just right, like I said, I can plunk larger pieces down and have walkways that way. I could make them split off to the side even, if I want, whichever. So super modular, super adaptable, really like them. However, I was like, these don't really look right. So I went to go look at how piers actually work. And what happens is I was only needing to make these stay together so that like they stayed in a pair the right size. And so I drilled through them and stuck these dowel rods in here and thought that would be good enough. But real piers don't work that way. Real piers have crossboards across this way that support them. I don't actually have any pictures to show you, but essentially all I'm doing tonight is I'm leaving these in place and I'm adding boards here with just white glue. Hopefully fairly straight. These should be, well, maybe fun. So anyway, I'm going to be using the tacky glue because it grips better faster. And I'm going to be experimenting with that. Now, I don't have any of the regular ice cream stick size sticks. I only have the thin coffee stirrer ones that my housemate gave me, which look like, they look the same thing, but they're just smaller. So what I have got, this is a regular crafting coffee stirrer. These are the ones that I used on other stuff you may have seen on my channel. You will notice that this is about, okay, first off, this is about the size of a normal coffee stirrer. that's what I thought these were going to be. But as you can see, they are narrower and thinner. So this is what I've got to work with. The popsicle sticks or the ice cream sticks, paddle pop sticks, whichever you call them, would be even bigger than this and thicker than this. So those would be much sturdier. And I could use these, but I've got quite a bunch of piers to deal with. So I actually would run out of what I have on hand. So I am going to try to get by with these thinner ones. Let's find out. But again, this is all experimentation. This is all just playing with it. But essentially, that needs to go like that. And then that one's going to be easy because that'll attach like that. The second one needs to attach on the outside at exactly the same elevation because they still need to be able to support one of these across both boards. So this will be fun. Question is, can I get by with a half of one of these sticks, or is it going to take more than one stick to do each one of these? I think I can get by with half, but let's find out. How long are these? These are, in freedom units, 5.5 inches long. So I need to go with 2 1/4, which is right here. Nope, 2 3/4, because I can't do maths. Okay, so that's going to be right. There's going to be halfway. Several cuts across that should make it to where you can snap it pretty easy. And I don't care if it's a little rough on the edge. I literally just don't care. But I might sand it off one of these days, but it doesn't matter. Now, will half fit? Yes, excellent. So I can get by with one of these sticks per pier. So sounds like I've got a stutter. Per pier. Okay, now I want these to go as, I don't know how to word it. If this is the surface, I want them as level as possible. Now, these pieces that I attached here, I was not careful with because I figured I would just put all of these posts in level. But now the posts are superfluous. So we will try this here and see if I'm just going to eyeball that for as low as I can get it on one side, and then on the higher side, and then bring the other one up to that height. So it looks like that's going to be about there, and I'm just going to go for it. Ooh, that does not want to come off. Who knew that glue would glue a cap on? Okay, there we go. Now, we want to take these and put a droplet here. Ooh, that's a huge drop. Let's not do that. Take some of that off. And a droplet here. And then we're going to take this little stick and put it there. And try to eyeball that as straight as possible from this side to the top line of this. So it looks like that's going to work, but I'm getting way too much glue here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get something to put glue on, which I will use. I don't know what I will use. I will use something. Surely I got a piece of cardboard in the trash can or something I can use. Yep, there we go. We will use that. We will put the glue on there. Ah, that's why I was having problems. It actually had a clog. Okay, we'll put the glue there. That's going to be plenty for many of these. Okay. And then we will take this. Oh, that's not going to work because that sits flat like that. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do all of the internal parts. So we're going to switch this up. Take a bunch of these. No, not nearly that many. Take a bunch of these. Sit them here. Get rid of all of the actual walkways. Put them off to the side. But we'll be grabbing all of the uprights. By the way, this stick that's already rounded off and smoothed and all that, these are from a set that came from the Dollar Tree, and they were just called like driftwood craft pack or something like that. So these look like they're driftwood or something. Some of them are split. Some of them are faded. This is perfect because this is going to be a pier that's out in the sun, out by the water. So perfect. And they are already rounded on one end and all of that. I just literally cut them at directly in half. They were that, each of them was that long, and I cut them in half, and that's just what I used for my upright. There's no measuring there. I did it as simply as possible. And I got about 20 or 25 of them per packet, each for $1.25. Actually, I've had them a while. I got them for $1, but $1.25 tree has gone up in their prices, as we all know. So for now, I got 20 or 25, which means if this is half and this is half, that's one. So I got 20 or 25 piers worth of logs out of each of those packets. So take that. And now I'm not getting enough glue. Okay, let's try this again. Getting a little bit of the tacky glue on there. And a little bit on the other end on the same face. So then we got some here and here. Then we'll take that and align it on those piers. And that's that. Now, once these are done, you could come by and take a tiny rhinestone, like the kind that just stick on for like just general decor or craft scrapbooking, that sort of things, or even the tiny ones that are used for like nail art. And you could take those and put one on each end as if it's bolted on, but it just depends on the look you're going for. I'm not going to do that because in scale, nails will basically disappear on these. You wouldn't see them, so I'm just going to pretend that they're nailed there. Now, my pieces where I messed up and put this bar in, I'm leaving it. I don't care. If you have built these and you've only glued 3 of these together to make each pier and you haven't put anything between them, then you can put the cross pieces that we're putting on tonight on any way you want. But just realize that some of these will try to get away from you when you do it because they won't be supported like this is laterally with the stick here. So be aware of that. Oh, Sim Peasant's here. Loosely Collected. Oh, howdy from work. Loosely Collected cannot actually get here tonight. He's going to get off work a little late and then have to get home, and somewhere in there is probably going to miss me. So I'm glad you actually stopped in for a second. That's very cool. Thank you. I'm very proud of the fact that I have that kind of draw for people. And then Sim Peasant is also a YouTuber, but with a different style. They play a lot of games that are super chill games, none of the shoot 'em ups. So if you want some just laid back, like 10-minute videos of Minecraft and Sims and all that, then give Jess's Sim Peasant's channel a go as well. Okay, I'm gonna mess one of these up tonight. I'm gonna cut one of them at 2 1/4 instead of 2 3/4. It's gonna all right, keep it clean for the kitties. It's gonna tick me off. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make a bunch of these. That glue will hold for a second. We're all good. Now, don't measure when you can gauge. So I measured the one, and now all the rest I'm going to use this one as the example for, and that will be close enough. I'm going to keep using the same one as my gauge. That way they all come out roughly the same size. I don't want to, I'm such a computer programmer. I don't want to cascade failure. If I make a mistake, I don't want it to be carried across all of them. I only want it to be one. So I'm using that. I have no idea how many of these I actually need. Doesn't matter. I can always use them for something. I can use them for wood floors or house trusses or stuff like that. So it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut a bunch of these. And if it's too many, it's too many. If it's too few, then I'll be upset because I'll have to go back and cut more. But I'll live through that as well. This too shall pass. Okay, so while you're watching me cut things, flathead sewing pin, yeah, the tiny pins, those will work. But you got to look at it if you care about scale, and you're really like, oh, let's make it look a scale. That's never gonna work. It's gonna be bigger than their finger. It's gonna be like a big honking nail width. But if you're going for rule of cool, yeah, heck yeah. I use straight pins for rivets sometimes, and I also use them as the tiny mushrooms. So that was from Loosely Collected, said that. All right. Speaking of this too shall pass, or none shall pass more precisely, my friend's grandson made a joke this week. He goes to a parochial school. That means religious school. He goes to a Catholic school. And he is on some type of, it's an offshoot of their student political thing. You know, they're what's it called? I was never in it, so I don't know. But like, you know, you got class president and all that type of stuff. The student council, that's it. It's an off branch of the student council. And what they do is they're called honor guard, but really what they do is help educators carry stuff around the building and that sort of thing. They're basically assistants. And the other day, he was blocking a door to their lost one on the floor, to their theater, where there was some kind of meeting going on. So several of the educators, that means priests and nuns, were going into the room, and no one else was supposed to go in there except the educators. I don't know what the meeting was about. Doesn't matter. It was just some, you know, standard thing they have going on. But one of his buddies came by and was like, "Hey, what doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just watching the store. I'm not supposed to let anybody in." His buddy's like, "Why?" And he tried to get past him. He's looking. He's like, "No, I can't. Seriously, I can't let you." And he's like, "Why?" He goes, "They got a meeting going on. I'm not supposed to let anybody in." They're like, "Oh, okay." And right after that, one of the sisters wandered by and waved at him, was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, hey, here you go, sister," and held the door for her and let her in. And then as the door closed, his friend's like, "Oh, sure, but she can go in." And he goes, "None shall pass." I'm going to leave that there. If y'all get it, y'all get it. Yeah, big nails, big bolts, anything orky. It doesn't matter because who knows how their stuff works. So anything orky like that, I would definitely use those straight pins for. If you want to really scale nice, just paint it and make it look like a nail is there. Yeah, just a dot of paint and you're good to go. Yeah, or a rust stain coming down from a nail. I haven't seen that without an actual nail, but yeah, you're right. That would make it look like a nail was there without actually having to put one. I think that's more than I'm going to need. But let me do about 5 more just to make sure. All right. Yeah, I love puns. I absolutely love puns, and that was good. He came up with it off the cuff. He said, "Yeah," and actually, he wasn't the one that told me. His friend that he told couldn't go in was the one that told my friend, which is that guy's dad. And he said, my grandson the other day, or granddad, not dad, granddad said, my grandson the other day, he cracked a joke. I was like, oh, and then he told me that, and I was like, oh, that's horrible. I must tell people that. Kind of like, this stinks. Smell this. You know, like, ooh, I might not use that one. That one's curvy. I don't know if you see that, but that one's wavy. All right, so we'll put that one over there. That's like a last ditch effort thing over there. Yeah, I can see that on Trench Crusade because it's that kind of game, making big spiked nails. Yeah. It plus it's post-apocalyptic and presumably some of the large industries gone down, so they'd be maybe not great at crafting uniform sizes of hardware. Yeah, I can see that. Ooh, that one's not wavy. That one's, I think they cut around a knot. That's the wood. That's the lumber you get from that orange hardware store. Their stuff's always garbage. Okay. Let's go back to putting this first layer on. I don't know that these are going to be set up enough to paint or anything like that. Wow, those are getting set up pretty quick. Yeah, okay, I should be able to go back and get the backside of those later tonight. But by later tonight, I mean on this live stream in just a few minutes. But again, I want to get this lined up as parallel as I can to what will be the surface, the bottom area, where this sits. So I'm just eyeballing it. None of this is that picky. And plus, piers are rickety and bouncy anyway. I'm in Atlanta right now, but technically I live in Daytona Beach, and some of our piers are like pretzels. They're so I'm not that worried about it. Anybody else crafting? I know LC, you're about to be on your way home from work. Anybody else crafting? Small rounded stone-looking pebbles would also work for the rivets. Yeah, if you can get them small, yeah, and they're free in the world. The trick is getting them small enough so they look right in scale. Now, if you're doing, like I said, rule of cool and you don't care if it's in scale, awesome. If you are doing fairy houses and you can build it like, you know, fairies built it, so who knows what size it's going to be. Awesome. If you're building 1/24th scale, that's dollhouse scale, you can get by with a lot more. If you are building 1/12th scale, that's the taller superhero models. Yeah, the bigger the scale, the larger you can get away with on stuff like rivets, bricks, nails. A lot of people like to put a wood grain into their foam, which I get because foam is otherwise really smooth. However, a lot of people also like to scrape or gouge a wood grain into stuff like these flat boards. But I look at those from the view of in scale. That already is going to look right. Making the texture deeper, bigger, more grandiose, that would not be realistic to their figure. And that's not even a rule of cool thing. That's just a matter of I don't want to be bothered, and now I have an excuse. This tacky glue dries out quick. What is all this crap? I have no idea what this is. Oh, yes, I do. That's white chocolate, because these came from my housemate. My housemate is a patissier. Patissier means pastry chef. That was white chocolate. I did not eat it. I threw it in my trash can. What are you going to do? I get plenty of chocolate from my housemate. I do not, and I am pudgy. Okay, I'm not pudgy. I am fat. I do not need more chocolate. I want more chocolate, but I shouldn't scrape chocolate off of my crafting supplies and eat it. That would just be a little silly. I know somebody out there is one of those total chocolate addicts who's going, eat it. Eat the stuff off the crate. It's fine. It'll do fine. It's not going to kill you. I have no idea why that dialect is my chocolate addict. Oh, we're not supposed to say addiction on YouTube. Oh, well. Sorry. When people are addicted to chocolate, it's a thing. Okay. I am going to take this, not that one, this PVA glue, add that to this because this stuff is drying out too quick. So let's kind of mix those in together. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Mixing those in together. Oh, yeah, you can see that's all glopped up. All right, put a little more PVA on there. Wipe that off a little. Get a piece of towel here. Wipe that off some more. A friend of mine says that not enough people describe all the little stuff in the meantime. So, in case anybody doesn't know, PVA is polyvinyl acetate. This is white glue. This is your school glue, your glue all, your wood glue that aren't the yellow ones. The yellow ones are a little different, but all of those are PVA glues. Your tacky glues, all of those have PVA in them. The only difference is in all of the white ones, not the yellow ones. The yellow ones have differences, but the only difference in the white ones is how much moisture there is in that particular formulation. Everything else about it is just, it's white glue. So if your tacky glue is going off too quick and setting up too quick, switch to more diluted white glue, or vice versa. If your white glue just won't dry, maybe switch to tacky glue. Okay. Y'all are hugging up on each other. Why are we doing this? Okay. Separate out so I don't get frustrated 800 times. Separate you all out at once. I don't know if any of the rest you get upset at your crafting stuff, but I get upset at my crafting stuff. So let's get it ready to go from the get-go so I don't get frustrated. I don't even know how many of these I made. I think it's 32, if I remember correctly. Maybe wrong. Okay, that's 15, 20. How did I get 23? How did I get an odd number? Okay, I guess I made 23, not 32. All right, what are we going out in here? Split peas, not pleasant. Okay. Well, I got to back up again. Make some hole punches and make really tiny round holes. Yeah, and I've got one, but it's still almost the size of a pinhead. It's. I think it's 64th of an inch, which is 0.7 millimeters. Tiny. Just use a sewing needle for small holes. Yeah, if I wanted to make like little nail holes, I would do that, but I just don't even bother because it like I said, it wouldn't even show up in scale. Split peas, not peasants. Yeah, no splitting well, I don't know. If anybody's seen History of the War Part 1, you know what? You know, I hate violence. Pull. You know what I'm talking about? That was very funny to you. If you don't, you're like, what are you talking about? Okay. Split peas, half the split peas. Yeah, split peas and lentils. I have used lentils as mushrooms as well. I have taken those and cut the pointy end off of toothpicks, glued a lentil to it, painted it up like a mushroom, and then when I'm ready to I take the pointy end of the mushroom of the toothpick and just stick it into the foam or whatever. Some places don't call them toothpicks; they're called cocktail sticks, but same thing. Please don't split me. No splitting peasant. No splitting sin peasant. One of me is fun enough in the world. Fair. I wouldn't say that about you, but I say that about myself, so I get where you're coming from. Different brands of PVA equals different flavors. Try them all. Yeah, this paste is delicious. Yeah, production at scale is my way to go. I built all these at once, and now I am repairing them all at once. That's John McElroy's Ghost. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Okay, so super exciting to watch me glue tiny little pieces of wood to tiny little pieces of wood. But yeah, this is the entire evening. I'm going to be doing that over and over. And see them off the side. I really should put these all this way. Oh, I did have an even number because there's one extra over here I hadn't seen. So I've got 24. Which 24 with however many actual piers and docks I made. This is from an older walkway video I did, but it's basically the same way. And this is done with those thin round bamboo skewers and busted up sticks. And this is done with cut off sticks for a cleaner look and the square types of wooden chopsticks. But if you get enough of these and enough of these, you can make way more dock system than you actually need for your boats. I don't know, unless you make a boat ton of boats. But I'm here all week. And unfortunately, week starts on Sunday. Stuck with me. Okay. Turn all these around. Then knock them over. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. I love to cook with gas, but I have actually done my research and my homework and found out that why you shouldn't. And my next time I buy a stove, it will probably be a convection stove. Or not convection, invection. Whatever. The ones where you sit the metal pan on it, it gets hot when you lift it, it stops. Those. I don't remember what they're called. All right. So, okay. That's 15, 20. Oh, I'm still getting 23. That's 9, and that's 15. 24. Okay, there we go. Can't count. All right. All right, have a good one, LC. I'm glad you caught part of it live. See you later. Be safe home. Lamax? I don't know who Lamax is. I'll have to look that up. For mushrooms, I've used packing peanuts, the little dome ones for the caps and the small cylinders for the stem. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the cap packing peanuts in forever. All the ones I get now are either the cylinders that are made out of cornstarch. You don't want to use those for crafting because the first time it gets humid, they'll, fall apart or rot or something. And the other ones are still the old S's. And those are the only ones I see anymore. If I could find the cap ones, I would hoard those like crazy, but I haven't seen them in years. Okay, that's not even remotely level. Let's try that again. Okay, for those of you who missed out on that, this is the part that goes on the ground, or technically the water level. But that sits like that. So I want to get these new pieces I'm gluing on as level as I can, but I'm not sweating that. These are not, they're designed to be exposed to the elements 24/7 out on, a medieval town's dock. I'm not worried about perfection here. Oh my God, can you imagine if I had a perfect, I get really big on perfection on some stuff and really nitpick some stuff, but can you imagine if I was doing it on this? Oh my God. I'd be out here measuring and drawing little lines on the hair with pencils, making sure it was lined up. Oh my God, I'd go nuts. Yep. So I just realized this will be easier if I turn all of these around. Ooh, that one's all jacked up. Push that back into place. Ooh, that one's even worse. That back into place. There we go. If I face them all the direction that my hand goes to put them down when I put them, then it'll be easier the whole way around. And then after, for the other side, I can, anyway. Consistency is key, and currently I am off key. Okay. Oh, you are more over there than over here. Okay, here we go. I do not understand how I get this much glue on my hand when I am not touching the glue part. But last week, I was barely doing touch-up paints on that bridge, and I had paint all up my arm. I'm like, how the heck did I manage that? I got skills. Not good ones, but I have them. Oh, that's how I'm getting glue on myself. I see. All these over where you can actually see what I'm doing. All I'm doing is taking this little stick, touching it to the ends of my board, my plank, both on opposite ends, but the same side, the same face. Then flipping it over, glue side down and down, not up. And then situating those there halfway across, preferably as aligned as I can. And putting those off to the side. Oop, that one's off. I keep looking and realizing the last one I did is messed up. Okay. Anybody else crafting? Yeah, OCD moment. Oh my God. You have no idea. I have so many things where I'm like, there are times when I have it in my head, and the fact that I cut all these basically the same, but with gauging them and not measuring them. The fact that these are not all identical, there are times when that would drive me nuts, and other times when it doesn't. I have no idea. Sometimes I go out of my way. It's got to be exactly perfect. I would sand all those. No, we're not doing all that. And other times I'm like, nope, can't be bothered. Okay, we'll go on both. And another board on another pier. Okay. Oh. Sim Peasant saying that gonna like tomorrow's video. Is it super specific or what's he doing? Or are you sailing on boats? Because you're done with Aladdin, right? But you're now dealing with Scrooge McDuck in Disney, whatever it's called that I don't remember. No, something Valley, Stardew Valley, no, that's its own thing. I don't remember. The Disney one. I've only watched you do like 8 videos of it. You'd think I'd remember by now, but slept since then. Anybody who's paying that much attention to what I'm doing here, for the record, when or once I first glued all these up and did them, these have had a coat of stain put on them, but they haven't had anything else. I thought they looked fine for faded wood like they were. They're already light colored. Some of these are just plain dowels. Some of those are those craft stick dowels I got from the Dollar Tree that were like driftwood craft sticks. And then I hit them once with my spray on stain, or I may have, I don't know. I stained them once with some kind of brown stain and then left them. That's what they have so far. So this is not, as you can see, this is like a natural wood color. And I don't know if you can see compared to that round piece, but how the round piece is a little darker. It's just got like that one time of stain on it. That was too much glue, but that's all right. I'll live with that. I think I already asked this, but anybody out there crafting, or y'all just hanging out watching me do stuff tonight? Or what are you doing if you're not crafting? Being all nosy. What you doing? What you doing? Fair. Some peasant said, I don't blame you. I got a lot of games. That's true. I have seen you play at least 4 that I can think of. You played the Disney game, various versions of it, various adventures of it. You have played Palia. I've seen you play Sims, and I have seen you play that Alice game, and I may have seen some others. Oops, I got glue on both sides. Don't do that. Okay, the trick is with glue, if you get the white glue where you don't want it, the stain does not stick to white glue the same way it does to the wood. It does stick to it or sink into it or color it or stain it or whatever, but not the same way. So it can be noticeable. However, since every single piece I'm gluing right here is eventually going to be under a pier, I don't care. I just can't be bothered. As a British friend of mine loves to say, CBA. If you know, you know. Don't. I've already cussed enough tonight. We're going to let that go. Or gotten close to cussing tonight anyway. Which is funny, because usually when I cuss, I'm upset or angry. And tonight I am. That's not why. I guess I'm just foul-mouthed today. Foul-mouthed today. God, that's hard to say. Okay. All right. That's a couple, 3 more of those. Let's take a look. I had a reason to craft the wood, but I don't. Crafting supplies not. No, a lot of crafting supplies are free, and then after that, it's like super expensive. So, like, it depends what you're doing it for. I craft because I want other people to craft. I want there to be more terrain on more gaming tables. I am hoping to inspire people to do it. A lot of my crafting supplies are basically free, like cardboard offcuts. But a lot of my craft in dirt and rocks and moss and various other things. And a lot of things are, let's just say I know I've got over $10,000 worth of crafting supplies in this room, but it is what I do. It's the thing. And I got a settlement from a car accident a few years ago and was dumb and didn't invest squat and bought crafting supplies and a laser cutter and blah, 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 blah. No point in being angry at myself. Totally angry at myself, but I'm not doing that, yell at me for it. You're almost done. Why put more glue? Yeah, well, when I finish this round, I got to go right back and put the boards on the other side as well. So, going to be used, of course, straight in the middle of the board. Why wouldn't you? That would be awesome. That's exactly where that needed to go. Dipstick. Okay, make sure I got the side that I've got that glue residue on because I told you about the stain thing, blah, blah, blah. So I want that side to have the other glue on it because that way it'll be hidden inside the other piece. So a little bit of glue on the end, a little bit of glue on the other end, both on the same face, and then smear it all over everything. So, and then that down like that. I only have 3 more on this side, and then I'm going to switch to the other side. Well, 2 more now. That was my third to last one. So you count down NASA style, this is 2. Then this is 1. Oh, with white glue, you never have to worry about pressing things together too hard as long as they're fairly close. Because, and I explained this last week, the way PVA works, it's little fibers inside the glue. That's all. The white stuff is the moisture that shows it up that way because of the lighting. That doesn't matter. This part that actually makes the glue, the part that goes clear at the end and stays, is a bunch of little fibers. And they go through, and these fibers grab the one side, and these fibers grab the other. And as they dry, set up, they pull together and the moisture goes away. And that will actually pull your boards closer to what you have them glued on. So you only have to get it close. You don't have to get it completely clamped on or anything. Now, bigger objects where it's got enough weight or mass that it wants to pull the things apart, then yeah, you're going to want to clamp that. But for something like this, that would be overkill. Okay, that is 24 of those on the one side. I need that. Do I have 24 of these? 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 14, 20. I need 2 more sticks, because of course I do. Oops. Okay, now I have enough to do the other side. Whoop. Okay, come back. Here we go. All right, what are we going on? Used to craft when I joined a scavenger hunt and they had several crafting quests. That sounds fun. I like the scavenger hunt. Here, craft these things that, yeah, that'd be fun. I'm sorry that hunt died out. That seems like it'd be cool. It bonds pretty well with wood. Use matches, coffee sticks, yeah, anything. The big tongue, the big things that look like tongue depressors, but are actually bigger than that are designed for like splinting fingers. I don't remember what they're called. Tongue depressors. The next size down would be, depending on where you're at and whether you want to go for the copyright infringement, paddle pop stick, popsicle stick, or ice cream stick. The next size down is a typical coffee stir, and then the next size down is these, which are technically lollipop sticks, but a lot of times these get used as coffee stirs as well. So yeah, it's and they all glue well with wood. Yeah, and they'll pull themselves together on these little lightweight pieces. Some of the if you're gluing together like furniture or something like full size one-on-one, scale real size stuff, you probably want to use clamps and screws and all that, nails and all that other stuff. But for this, okay, now this one was easy because I could sit it down and lay it on here. This one's going to be a little more tricky because I'm going to have to kind of eyeball to make sure it lines up with the one I put down before and stick it there with like no other arrangement. So these are going to get a little trickier. I will try not to cuss too much. This is your only warning. Okay, and I don't care if they're particularly level. I only want them to be parallel with each other. So I'm eyeballing this off of the one I did on the, I'm going to call that the front, and I'm eyeballing these ones on the back off of the front one. Which is about as much fun as it sounds. Now, some of these, because I'm gluing it onto this surface, but then I'm tilting it this way, some of these are probably going to fall out of place, and I'm going to have to fix those later or consider those broken ones or whatever. And by broken with air quotes, I mean I'll use them as a broken one in this scenario or whatever. But for now, that one went up. That was weird. Crawled up the glue. Bizarre. But I'm trying to, oh my God, why will you not stay in place? Dude, bro, you're killing me. You're killing me. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to line this board up with this board, and you can see it's moving as I'm sitting here holding it. Good enough. Close enough. And I'm getting hand cramp because of course I am. Why not? Okay, have a good night, Jess. I'm sorry you got to run out. Good night. Oh, Yellowstone's a good show. It's not my cup of tea, but it's a good show. I've enjoyed the parts of it I've seen. Have a good night. Enjoy your show. Okay, we got 2.5 of you. How do I have 2? Oh, 3 of you. Okay, my things are going weird. Okay, so I know that Jess took off, and I know that Loosely Collected took off, also known as Black Paws. I don't know if John John McElroy's ghost is still out there, and I'm pretty sure I know what my other lurker is. That means I'm still unaccounted for one. One of you. I know who you are, and I'm okay with that. You don't have to talk. I know you're always busy on Sunday evenings. I appreciate all of you that tune in. If you're not on right now and you're hearing this after the fact, I appreciate all of you that tune in. Yes, you, even you. Yep. That one back there that thinks I don't mean them. Yep, I mean them. I mean you. Thank you for hearing my voice. Thank you for seeing my stuff. Oh, I really am getting a cramp. It's weird. I used to get those all the time if I've been crafting for like 3, 4, 5 hours, but I've only been crafting a little bit tonight. It's going weird junk. I don't know. Anyway. Alrighty. I wonder if I could do this with this. Nope, that's going to be in my way. I'd have to hold it this way, and that's not worth the effort. Okay, a little bit of glue. Glue. Hold in the middle. Down. Line it up with the other one. Wipe off any squeeze out. And next. Only 20 more. Woohoo! It is already almost 8. So this is really all I'm doing tonight is gluing these together. I don't think I'm going to get to staining those other things tonight. So yeah, I hope it's not too boring for people, and I hope you weren't coming for like a whole bunch of excitement because I glue things together. But really, I'm here to inspire people. So if this makes somebody go, you know, I should totally build a pier or a dock system, do it. But I hope you enjoyed hanging out. Hope learn some stuff about, I don't know, glue or alignment or tools or something I've talked about tonight. Don't forget, I and several other people are a week from tonight. Will be on a week from this afternoon, earlier than this. Will be on Carl Make Stuff's channel, where we have a challenge build. And this month, or it's not month, we do them whenever. It's usually about every 2 months. This sessions is the Don't Make It Weird challenge. So everything we're doing is really mundane stuff. No weird magical bursting out, no adding LEDs to explosions, none of that. Everything is just basic builds to highlight basic builds because we all need them. We all need Oh, I can always use another set of crates. Oh, I can always use another set of, and some that sort of thing. I have 10 entries. Sorry about that, but it's only one picture each, except for the fall down bridge that I've been working on the last couple of weeks. That has 2 pictures. So I've got 11 pictures I sent in. I know Sahak Craft, which is another fantastic video channel. He builds lots of stuff, and he does it really well. So he's put some about 10 or 15 up there as well. So even if nobody else shows up, you got at least 25 or 30 things to look at. That is Carl Makes Stuff. Excuse me. That's a YouTube channel. And a week from today, earlier in the afternoon than this, there will be the live stream of the people chatting or maybe even calling in. I think I'm just going to chat. I might call in. I don't know. I think he uses Zoom, and I don't actually have Zoom. So I may just be in the chat window talking about my builds. But there should, hopefully, there's at least 3 or 4 others that say they're going to have, but I hadn't seen them in the entries yet. And some of those builders are, I build the way I build. I am very happy with my builds, but some of them make me see their stuff and I want to flip the table over and just leave because I'm like, I thought I was a crafter and then I saw their stuff. So there's going to be some very, very, very good builders that have said they will have some stuff for next week's challenge, and I am looking forward to it. So again, that's Carl Makes Stuff a week from today, earlier in the afternoon. Okay, so anybody who's, for whatever reason, just tuning into this, what I am doing, I messed these up and I built them how I thought they should maybe be built, and then realized, oh, I could do that better. And now I am fixing these. This part that I'm doing right here with this repair, I am recording this video. So some of this will get put into a later how I fixed my piers video. That will be a not live. That will be just a video. And that's probably going to be somewhere between 6 and 15 minutes. And what I'm doing is I'm taking flatboards. These are the ones that I had that were closest size and I had them available. I'm not going to go buying stuff just for this. I took these and I cut them to size, and I'm placing them 2 layers as level as I can, not layers, 2 supports as level as I can, but more importantly than level with the table, I want them to be aligned with each other. So that is what I'm doing here. And I'm literally just gluing those together. I will probably go back over and restain these flatboards later, but not tonight. Won't have time for that before the thing ends. I don't like these lives to go more than about an hour and a half. I know people got stuff to do, got to get up early in the morning, that sort of thing. So I am going to glue about 12 more of these, and then I am going to call it an evening. Anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Anybody has any answers, I'm more than happy to give you questions. If you are also crafting, I would love to hear that. And anybody who has not subscribed to my Discord, please do feel free to do so. I'm not saying please do so. Please feel free to do so. Links are down in the down below. My Discord is, I've got places where you can show your art. You don't just have to go look at mine. I've got stuff about crafting humor page and some other stuff. So I've got a lot of stuff going on my Discord, but not nearly as many people as I would like active in it. So if you want to come be one of those people, please come be one of those people. Okay. And as I said, the links are in the down below. If you are interested in my patron, Dungeon Matrons Discord, where a lot of crafty people get together and craft as well, including myself and Carl from that same challenge that I'm talking about, that Carl's Make Stuff, and several others, that you can find her Discord by going to my Discord and then asking me or messaging me there, and I can give you the link to hers. I don't have a permanent link to put down below yet, but one of these days she may give me a permanent link, and then I will put it down there. But I don't have that for now, and there's no point in me putting it if it's going to change in 7 days or whatever it is Discord does. But the one to my down below, the one to my Discord and down below is a permanent link, or supposed to be. So if it doesn't work, feel free to leave me a message down below. Please leave me a message anyway. I know you can't right now because this is live, but if you come back and leave a message, I would really appreciate that, because messages drive the almighty algorithm, you junk. And I would like to drive the almighty algorithm, you junk. I would be more than happy to inspire more crafters with more crafts. So I think I've said all I'm going to say. Did mention a Patreon. I do have one of them. So if you want to contribute, I've got that. I've also got a buy me a coffee, or we'll figure something out if you want to contribute. But that is totally no pressure. I'm going to be doing videos for free, whether I get help or not. What else can I hype on myself? Oh, I'm still writing on my role-playing game I'm writing, but that's slow going because I've got 900 other things going on in my life. And person who was supposed to be helping me write it has just disappeared offline. I barely ever see him anywhere anymore. And that's happens. So now I'm having to take on more of the responsibility myself, and that's fine. Also got to find an artist that draws in the art style that I would like, or I've got to learn to draw in the art style I like. So yeah, but it's coming along. It's coming along. All right. I've got about 5 more of these. Let me take a look up in the comments, see if anybody else has said anything recently. The wood glue should really dry for 24 hours before you wet it with stain. Yeah, these will sit here for like a week. I may not even do this till like Thursday. Tweezer, thank you for the bandwidth. There you go. I have some tweezers. I hardly ever use them. Basically, really, they're out of reach. They're not, a tool that's in the length of my grab, or I would use them more. I don't know where they are right now. Like I said, I've been restructuring all this stuff because of the 7 months it took the plumbers to get off their butts and plumb. That's a whole different issue that I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. And they're gone. They're out of my hair, and I'm still being bitter about it. I have no idea. But now that they are gone, I can move some stuff around. Maybe my tweezers and a couple other things will be in my range of my little grubby grabbers. So yeah, wood glue. They always say, "Oh, it'll set up and be tacky within like 20 minutes," or blah blah blah. You can paint over it. And no, I always leave it for an hour. Wood glue, especially here in the South, we have so much humidity. I have had wood glue, especially between layers of foam. I have had wood glue that, well, between foam, I've had glue that literally never sat. Like glue, 2 layers came apart. Oh, that was about 3 years apart, and the glue in the inside was still wet. But that's with styrene foam, so that's to be expected. But even between layers of cardboard, like food card, I have had some white glue take, I'm not kidding, 3 weeks to, I'm sorry for all my sign language friends, that was W weeks. I don't remember, is that 3 or that's 3? Anyway, 3 weeks to dry. That's on a piece that was sitting out with airflow on it. Now, admittedly, that was the 2 glossy layers were glued, glossy layer to glossy layer, but that glossy layer is still porous. I don't know why it took that stinking long, but that's just me whining. Could be worse. I do have a friend that crafts in New Mexico, and sometimes their white glue dries like this before they ever get anything glued, because it's so dry where they're at that literally it'll dry on the cardboard before they get, or at least get a skin over it to where you can't use it, faster than they can actually get to it and use it. I'm like, oh no, I'll take the humidity. I used to live in Phoenix. When I went back to visit a few times back after I'd moved from Phoenix to Texas a gajillion years ago, the The biggest thing I remember about going to visit in my friends in Phoenix, my family in New Mexico, and a friend that lived in Reno, was that it was so dry that my skin peeled off like a lizard for like the first 2 days I was there. And after that, put some lotion on and it was fine. Don't go out in the sun because now it's a whole new fresh layer of skin and you'll burn yourself. But I remember thinking that I was becoming reptilian because it was so bad. All right, give me just a second. I will look back at the camera here for a second, but I got to put up a couple tools. Okay. You go up here. You also go up there. You go here. You go in my wood scrap box, which I don't have here. Okay, so you stay there. You go back over here on the shelf. All right. Okay, so I took a bunch of those. I had that one bar there in the middle, that pole, that skewer, that's the word. And I have taken those and added cross beams. If you go look up docks and piers and stuff and find pictures of them online, you'll see that a lot of them have 2 boards across between each of those, and that's how they hold those in place. It both stops these from spinning in like the dirt, because these are usually just driven into sand or dirt or whatever in the underwater part, and it stops those spinning by bolting those in. But it also gives a flat platform for the piers to sit on. I can't demonstrate that right now because all these are got wet wet glue, because cross are English. All the glue on all of these is wet. I can't actually show you right now, but those are vastly improved and look like that now. There we go. Okay. So those will be much more functional when I need them on the table from now. Basically, I'm not doing anything to those except I might stain this wood a little darker later, because as you can see, the cross beams are a different color. And that's it. Again, I would like to say big thanks to my patrons. Put them right over here in my face. I've got, right here, Dungeon Matron. That's Lisa. Lisa has their own Discord as well. Go to my Discord, ask me for the message me, and I will give you the link to her Discord. And she has a big Discord where me and a bunch of other crafters excuse me, meet up to discuss this sort of thing on a fairly regular basis. Plus, there's lots of stuff gets posted in the midweek when nobody's chatting live. Then I've got Patrick Walther, who also has a YouTube channel, but until he lets me know for sure that it's okay to tell you what it is, I'm just to say he's got a YouTube channel. And I wish him all the best. And he's been a great supporter of me for quite some time, and I really appreciate it. The last one is Digital Calibrator, and they are a real-life, in-person friend that I can shake hands with and say hello to when they come over here. And they've helped me with the lights, the cameras, and the sound, all 3. And Dungeon Matron has sent me several things that have been helpful, but one of them was this mic that you can hear me on. So if you can hear me, thank DC or Lisa. If you can see me, thank DC. Hopefully the lights are better this week. Somebody told me I needed a little more light on my face, so I put on one more over there, and hopefully I'm at a good place now. That is it. Carl's thing is next week before mine. That's why I keep saying that. So go to Carl Makes Stuff's channel and look for the challenge live stream that's next week, about 3 or 4 hours before this. I'll be here again next week. I'm planning on being here next week. A lot of the footage from tonight, I'm going to download it and then take that and cut it apart and edit it. So these will end up in my shorter version of this that's not a live. That's not a live stream. And that will be my how I repaired my Piers thing. So it's going to be just a repeat of this. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Since I did not get to it today, I will probably stain the other stuff I mentioned at the beginning that needs stains on it. I'll do on another night. And that's everything. So I hope I haven't been too boring. I hope I've inspired a few people to craft, if not tonight, in the long run. And this is Campaign Terrain. I am your host, That Guy Cross. And as ever, I love you. And until next time, I wish you luck in your campaign. both on the table and in real life. Much love. I'll see you later.